So basically, what I put together was a slideshow about a system that I kind of refined and brought down to a science. I named it How to Make Money Online in 6 Weeks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So for the objective, there we go. The objective of this entire system is how to generate money online over a 6-week period. Now, I understand some people have jobs, some of you guys have jobs, some of you guys have other things to do besides sit online all day, such as me and my uncle, and you don't have that much time. So even if you had at least 3 to 4 hours a day to spend online, you should be fine with generating money and getting to start on this system by spending that much time. So that's the objective. Now we have the tactic. This is what you're going to be doing. This is what I'm going to be showing you step by step how to do, is provide a company with a template website like I've been doing for some of you guys. I provided a template website for the AC site, the chiropractic site, and a few other ones, a DJ site. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be stepping you through on how I came this far within 6 weeks into learning how to do this and actually generating money online. So let's go into phase 1. This is in the beginning. Step 1, before you do anything, if you have no idea what online marketing is and you had no background like I did about 6 to 2 months ago, I had no idea what this was. When my uncle called and was like, hey, do you know anything about graphics or anything about making websites, how online marketing works, I had no idea. So I researched it out. I went to YouTube, I went to Google, looked up, videos that people had online about the topic, just so I can get somewhat of a background. So that was my step 1. Step 2, learn the essential programs. That was another thing I went into before I even came out to Kansas City, is I learned how to use WordPress. WordPress is a system that you're going to be using to make the websites. If you don't know WordPress, you're not going to be able to make a decent site. I believe there's other programs out there, if I'm not mistaken, on website for website design, but WordPress, in my opinion, is the easiest one to use. So learn WordPress if you can. I watched Tyler Moore's video on how to create a beautiful website in WordPress. Literally watched about an hour of that video, and I had it down to a science. It was pretty easy to navigate. It was not that hard at all. Second program that you're going to want to learn to use is Photoshop. Photoshop is super important when it comes to making graphics and designing the website. The design aspect of the website is graphics. And Linda asked a question. Tyler Moore, Moore, same as my last name, and he does excellent when it comes to stepping you through how to make the websites. And thank you, Carol. So Photoshop is a very, and I know some people can't afford Photoshop. It's a pretty expensive program. So there are other programs that you can use, such as GIMP and Pixlr. Once again, there's also tutorials for those on YouTube as well. And if you don't have, if you just want to like read about it, and they have, I've seen on Google, some websites have like a step-by-step on a web page that steps you through with pictures and such. Those are pretty helpful too. So yeah, Photoshop. And then the other two, GIMP and Pixlr. GIMP you have to download onto it, but it's just as good as Photoshop. And Pixlr is actually a website that you can go to, and it has basically the same interface as Photoshop. So that's step 2. Step 3, practice makes perfect when it comes to designing your websites. I started off with, my uncle threw out, he's like, design a chiropractic website. And I was like, cool. So I went home one day, and this is after I learned somewhat about WordPress and Photoshop, and I threw together like a sample Chiro website on the Blackbird theme. It wasn't the Divi theme, so it wasn't as easy, but this was before I even came out to Kansas City. So with that, if you can make a practice website on either a subdomain or the program called Desktop Server, which is really nice, you don't have to even use the internet to design. Oh wait, yes you do.
No. Desktop Server The free version, you can run up to 3 websites. Repeat
Yeah.
that. They can't hear me.
The free version, you can run up to 3 websites on there, and you can design those websites. Do you have to use the internet on that one? Do you have to have, okay, so you don't have to be connected to internet, which is cool. So you can actually take your laptop on the go and use desktop server and be designing a website, whether you're on a plane or, you know, you don't have internet access, which is really cool. And that leads us to, yeah, building a practice website. Phase 2. Now, when you are getting down to business, once you have this whole website building thing down to a science, you're going to want to target your niche. So before going out into talking to businesses, you're going to want to get a niche that you're comfortable with. For example, my comfortable niche would either be within the phone service, or B, within music service or some kind of music production. I went to school for music production, and I worked for T-Mobile for a year, so I'm pretty comfortable with the background of the mobile plans for in the phone service. I'm pretty comfortable, and I could talk a lot about that. So that helps when it comes to talking with people, with business owners, especially if you're going to go out and be building websites for them. You're going to want to have something that you can talk about with them. So if you have a background, like my uncle has a background in auto repair, so it's a lot easier for him to go out and talk to someone within the auto repair niche, if that makes sense. So you can build rapport that way, which is really nice. Step 2, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a list. And hold on, I have a question here. Don't forget about the $10. $10, what's the $10 per month option for Photoshop?
It's
hold on.
Field questions at the end, but I'll address this one. On Adobe's site, they're still having the Adobe Photoshop plus the Lightbox, which is a photography equivalent, or a photography application usage for Photoshop for $9.99 a month. Absolutely fantastic deal. And if you are going to get Photoshop, the tutorials that will excel your skill set the fastest is Deke McClelland, D-E-K-E McClelland, M-C-L-L-E-N-D, I believe, on lynda.com. And I think you can Google Deke also, but he walks you through, push this button, tap here, do this, this is why. So Adobe Photoshop on Adobe for $9.99 a month. Just do the Adobe $9.99 Photoshop, Google it, and you'll see it.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That's a heck of a deal for Photoshop, especially all the stuff that you can use on Photoshop. That's where I create most of my banners and all the advertisements and clippings and everything that I do for the websites. I do it on Photoshop. Amazing program. I do recommend getting it. And David said paint.net. I've never heard of that one, but if it's just about the same as the Photoshop interface, that's pretty cool. So you can use that one too. That's another resource. So step 2, you want to make the list. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to locate and target about 50 businesses. Now, just starting out, I just say 50 because that, I mean, 100 sounds like a lot, but it can be done. 50 businesses was just a good fallback number to use. So I said locate 50 businesses that collaborate with your niche that you've chosen. So in my case, I would go out, not necessarily to the phone companies, but probably more towards music shops, just because a lot of phone companies already have websites and there's not many out there that are like locally owned and operated. So so if you do choose like plumbing, which was one of the high topics that I guess you guys requested for a template website, then go out and, you know, talk to the owners of the plumbing websites or of the plumbing companies and all that good stuff. So you want to locate 50 businesses, and 3 ways to get in contact with the owner. Now I say the owner because if you talk to, you know, an employee or a manager or someone who's not the shot caller of the business, you're not really going to get far. So I recommend talking to the owner most of the time. So there's 3 ways to get in contact with them. First way is to send out lumpy mail. Now, I did this the first week that we got here. We made about 100 manila envelopes with a 2-minute DVD explaining what we do, why we do it. We had sales letters in there, and I don't think we had anything else in there, did we? No. So we just, just basic, the 2-minute video, the sales letter, and we sent it out to the drop zone owners around the United States. And then by the drop zone, I mean for the skydiving drop zone owners. Um, and see, now we could send it out to the drop zone owners because my uncle's a skydiver, so he has some common ground to talk about with the owner of that drop zone. So it's, once again, going back, it's all about building rapport so they can trust you in the end and they perceive you as the expert. So lumpy mail, send out your lumpy mail. We sent out 100. You don't have to send out 100, and it took me about 2 days, day in, day out, just getting the addresses and getting the name of the owners, and finally putting this whole product together. It took a while, but I mean, it was worth it. We got about 9 clients out of it, so that was pretty cool. Another way to get in contact is by sending out emails. Now, emails are the least effective just because we're so conditioned to filtering out our emails. Half of the emails that we always get is either spam and nothing is relevant content towards us, so we're not going to want to open it. But if you do refine your email back to target the actual person, the owner, or the person, so they feel compelled to opening the email, then by all means, go ahead and send them out. The more emails you send out, the better chance you'll get. You're probably only going to get either 1 or 2 responses, if that. And the most effective way that we found is meeting face to face. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the story about us going out and on that holiday, the one day that we sent out the mail, or I do believe it was the day that we're getting them addressed. But we went out on a holiday and landed 3 for 3 clients. We talked to the vet, we talked to the transmission guy, and then we also talked to the tow truck company.
And the windshield guy.
And the windshield guy, that's right. So we went out and got 4. So we got 4 for 4. Caught that? Oh. We got 4 for 4 clients, which was pretty cool. So meeting face to face, just because the owner, the client that you're going to be talking to, if they can see your body language and they can speak to you face to face, it's a lot more effective. So I do recommend meeting face to face, especially with local businesses. If you have that opportunity, by all means take it. It's a lot more effective. So step 3, you're going to want to set a goal. We set a goal. So when we sent out the lumpy mail, I personally set a goal of about 10 to 15 responses, and we almost got that. We got about 9, so that was pretty nice. But you want to set a goal. So out of 50 potential clients, you're going to want to set a goal of about 5 or 10, depending on how do I say this? How strong you are with your knowledge on what you're going to be doing for them, and how you present it. You're going to want to be setting a goal of about 5 or 10.
Oh, 1 second.
Huh.
When you're talking about the phone company, specifically your experiences in the cell phone.
Yeah.
Because explain that you specialize in working with cell phones, cell phone communications, not just phones, period. Okay, phones, vonage and everything. No, it's specialized knowledge is powerful, especially when you are a specialist in that area. You speak the vocabulary. Yeah. So say if I were, this is a pretty out there goal, but if I was to go talk to the owner of T-Mobile, because I worked for T-Mobile for a year, I can speak their language. I know what to talk to them about. I know where our falling points back are, how we can help out customers, stuff like that, the things that they want to hear. So when you're talking to them, make sure that you can, again, with building rapport, make sure that you can build rapport and you have a foreground to stand on while you talk to them. So it does make them trust you a little bit more, and once again, they do perceive you as the expert. So you want to explain to the businesses what you're offering. Now, when you're offering, you guys, based on what your skill level is with website design, most of you guys for this system, you're going to be offering a template website, which is pretty easy to do. It's fairly simple. So you're going to explain to them what you're offering. So when offering a template website, make sure to emphasize that you're not building them a custom website. You're just doing a template website for their specific niche that covers their company's their niche, basically. It's kind of hard to explain that, but tailored to their niche.
Yeah, it's tailored to their niche. It's not specific to their company. Then we're going to go to phase 3. Organization is key, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not organized, you are going to be finding yourself spinning in circles, and that is no fun. So make sure you stay organized. Touch base with the clients that you have got your yeses. So say after you've got your 5 yeses from the 50 potential clients that you talk to, you're going to want to touch base with the owner. Because if you talk to them one time and you don't keep presenting yourself to them multiple times after you talk to them the one time in person, they're going to forget who you are. Oh, hopefully not, but you want to keep talking to them and reminding them and telling them what you can do for them and how you can benefit their company. So you're going to want to touch base. Now, by touching base, you're going to want to gather information from them. So set up a consultation with them, set up an appointment to meet with them, and you're going to want to get information such as color schemes. Now, for the template niche, you're going to want to incorporate their colors because they're going to see themselves on that template website that you built, and they're going to more likely want to use that website. If that, yeah. Then you want to get contact information, not necessarily to put on the website just because you're going to want to use this specific template website for other companies, but you can use their contact information in a folder system. So to, like, again, with keeping the organization, you're going to want to organize your contacts. So say if you have, I was working with 2 Georges, and if you know, you want to make sure that you have all their contact info and it's all organized and everything like that. So that's where the contact info comes in. Now, another part of the contact info is if you want to use their phone number, if you have like on the banners that we use for the Divi themes, you could change out the phone numbers real simple and quick. It shows them, they see themselves, they see their phone number, like my uncle was telling you guys the other day of the other class. They're going to want to see themselves. So you can even add a phone number in there for them. Now, pictures and videos. If they don't have pictures and videos, that's okay. There's websites to get pictures and videos for that specific niche at. But if they provide you with the specific pictures and videos, then they don't really have much room to complain and to critique your website, because they're the one who provided the pictures, so they can't really complain, which is nice. And it kind of makes your life easier, so you don't have to do so much research. You can just use the pictures that they provided, so that's pretty cool. Step 2, no money, no template. If they, especially if you're working over the internet with someone and you don't have a chance to meet face to face, whether they're out of state or out of the country, what have you, if they're not going to give you, if they're not going to provide you any kind of payment, I would not recommend building their website up front. I would recommend them putting the money in your account first and then building the template for them, because not many people, but a lot of people out there will take them, or will not pay you, take their website and just disappear off the face of the earth and not pay you. So you want to make sure that you do collect the money first. And that brings me to setting up a PayPal. PayPal is, well, if you don't have a way for you to get paid, how are you going to get paid? So make sure you set up a PayPal. I recommend a business PayPal just because if you have a business PayPal account, you can actually you can set up buttons for your website. So if you do end up setting a website in the future, you can put buttons on that website, so it makes it a little bit easier for them to pay you, as well as getting a PayPal debit card. And I don't know if you could do that on the personal account, but I know that you can do it on the business account, which is pretty cool. And I think that's all I had for PayPal. Now, step 3, making the template. Now, when you're making the template, there's a specific method to the madness on making the template. You're going to want to first include 5 to 7 pages on each site. Now, you want to underpromise and overdeliver when it comes to this, just because if they see 5 to 7 pages or even more than that, it's the easy 5 to 7 pages. So if they see more pages than the 5 to 7, they're gonna think that you spent a lot more time, which you will, because obviously making pages is not going to be less time consuming. It's going to be more, but they're going to
Just be easy on the button.
Be-
You're slamming the keyboard.
Oh.
It sounds like a hammer when you're on the other side.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Mike said something. She's doing very well.
I got it.
Okay. You're talking to them. Okay. Include 5 to 7 pages. So I actually would recommend more, but for them to see on the menu bar for the pages that are active on the site, include 5 to 7. So that's going to include your home, your about, your services, your contact, and your blog. Now, if they have 2 extra pages that you can even ask them for it, they can recommend you put in there. By all means, put it in there. So it's all about making the customer happy. So that is a recommendation. Number 2, incorporate color schemes on each page somehow, whether it's on the menu bar or it's, the title of a paragraph. Make sure you incorporate their color schemes somehow, because once again, the customer does want to see themselves on the website. So, Number 3, make a generic banner for each homepage. I usually use about 1080 by 423 pixels on the homepage. That about fits it well, whether you're using a slider, a full width slider, or anything like that. And when creating the Divi website, I will probably make a tutorial here in the future to just do a basic navigation tutorial on Divi. It's fairly easy. But if you guys want me to do that sometime in the future, I can definitely go ahead and do that for you. So making a generic banner, that's where Photoshop comes into play. Photoshop, GIMP, Pixlr, whichever program you want to use. I believe David said paint.net. Whatever program you want to use, make a generic banner. And what that means is you can do a generic background, so make some kind of pattern for the background. Put pictures up, whether it be pictures that they provided you, pictures that you got from Pixlr, pictures that you got from Pixabay or Graphic Stock or anything like that. Make a generic banner that has to do with the niche. So that, like for example, if you had a hairstylist place and you put up a picture of nails, you know what I mean, it's not going to incorporate. So make sure you do relevant pictures and relevant content on that generic banner. And that brings me to gathering pictures for the website. Now there's a few programs you can use. You want to make sure that you're using royalty-free images. You're not using images that are copywritten, because you can get in a lot of trouble for that. These are programs that I use, Pixabay, Graphic Stock, and Fotilia. There are a lot more. I don't have them on hand. There's a list that my uncle had written out, but these are the ones I use the most often. Fotilia you do have to pay for. Graphic Stock you have to pay for. Pixabay is free. And if you don't have those kind of programs where you pay for royalty-free images, you can use Pixabay, or I sometimes use Google. And if you go to in the advanced search tab on Google, you can filter it out by what is that called? By
commercial usage.
Yeah, commercial. Yeah, you can filter it out by commercial usage. You can filter out by that tab, so it filters out the ones you can use. I mean, it gets rid of most of the pictures on there, but some of them, sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll actually get a picture that is pretty nice to use. So that leads us to, after all the madness, whenever you're done building your site and you feel like it's good and you feel like it's good enough to present to the client, back up your site. You're going to want to use a program. I recommend Backup Buddy. I do believe you have to pay for Backup Buddy, but that system right there is the most effective way, and it backs up everything. It even has WordPress included, so you don't even have to install it. You just you back it up on there, and it has everything in a zip file for you. I'm sorry. And another one is WP Clone. I don't believe you have to pay for WP Clone. It's free. So that one's another one that you can use to back up the entire site. Has anyone used? Have you used Backup Created before?
I have it. These are the best ones that I have come across.
So yeah, these are the best ones. Backup Buddy and WP Clone. I haven't heard of Backup Creator. My uncle said he has. Another one, you can do exporting and importing. I don't really recommend this. I haven't got this down to a system yet, but You can export pages and import them, I believe, on other websites, if I'm not mistaken. So those are ways to back up your site. Now, revisions. When it comes to revisions, you need to make sure you set boundaries. People can go off on a limb when it comes to revisions. For example, if someone was to look at their website and, hey, I don't want this green check mark facing this way. I want you to flip it around horizontally. I want it to be purple, and I don't want this box right here. I want it down here. Oh, and this little figure guy, he needs to have fingers about 7 to 8 inches long with the fingernail beds indent. You get what I mean. They go off tracks crazy. So make sure that you set boundary when it comes to revisions. That is very important. You can set up to 3, and I usually do 3 or 5, or if it's really not what they want, always offer them, they can get their money back. It can be refunded. And if you don't want to refund the money, that's not a problem. But if they keep bombarding you with them, you can say, no problem. I could definitely go ahead and take care of those changes for you. I do charge $25 an hour extra for any revisions that need to be made over the limit that I have set already. So that is important. So yeah, allow minimal revisions. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some examples. This is my website. Obviously, if you want to get a little bit more information about what I offer and what I can do for you, you can go ahead and visit my website. Now
real fast. See if anybody has any questions.
Let's see here.
Ask if anybody has any questions.
Does anyone have? Well, I was going to show them the examples first and then ask.
Okay. I know, but on everything you covered, see if they have questions at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me at this point, since we're done with the PowerPoint portion? Do I like doing? Yes, I love doing this, Mike. It is a lot better than working for T-Mobile and sitting behind a desk all day.
I'm going to come over here. I have a question. How do we learn about the importance of backup?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, see, hold on, let me answer these ones first. Where do you see yourself in 12 months? I see myself traveling with my sister and working from my computer, building websites. I want to be traveling and working at the same time. So that's the goal I want to get to eventually. Is this to replace?
Read the question out loud if you can.
That's what I'm trying. I can. Kathy asks, is this to replace their old site or just a new site or site to lease to them? This is not to replace their old site. I mean, you can. Like I said, it just really depends on how and where you're at with WordPress. If you feel comfortable enough with building an entire website from scratch for them, by all means do it. And you could obviously charge more than $50 to $100. So it just really depends on where you're at with WordPress. The niche site is basically for them. What you're going to offer is basically for them to do whatever they want with the site. So if they want to build their own website, they just need a foundation and a theme to work with. That's what the niche site is basically going to be for. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Daryl. You sound like the twin of Brittany Lynch. Who's Brittany Lynch? Oh, well, thank you, Jim. I don't know exactly who Brittany Lynch
is. An internet marketer.
Oh, well, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. So I don't think there's any more questions. Oh, hold on. Can you post a link to your website? Yes, I can. Just give me one sec here. You go into the chat log to post that, right? Yeah, I do believe so. Okay. There is a link to my website in the chat log. Awesome. Thank you, Dawn. What is your website again? I posted a link to that over there in the chat log, Nick. There are issues with the site? I don't think there are issues with it. I don't know. Let's check it out. Unless I typed in the URL wrong. No, it shouldn't. It should be working. Here, I'll put it in there real quick again, just in case that one didn't work.
Oh, you didn't put it in the right. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
there we go. Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys some examples of the niche sites real quick.
Wait a minute.
Oh, what?
How did we learn the importance? How
Oh,
did we learn the importance of backup?
okay. All right. Well, I'll explain that. So when I first came here, I before learning how to save my work and being lazy, I used to just exit out of everything. And so there's two parts to this question. One is not saving things when it comes to Photoshop and losing the hours of work that you put into one banner for your website, which is not fun. So make sure you save your PSD files and you save your JPEG images and you label them. If you don't label them, they are so ridiculous to filter through and go back and label them later. But when it comes to your actual website and backing it up, we tried to set up a subdomain the other day and I did not back up my website. I didn't have any source of backup, whether it be through WP Clone, Backup Buddy, nothing. So I had nothing backed up, and we were going to set up a subdomain. And well, I accidentally deleted all my database files to my actual website instead of deleting the subdomain that I was trying to get rid of, and completely wiped out my website. So the importance of backing up your website is most definitely very important. I learned that the hard way. So thank goodness we were able to bring it back up, though. My uncle did something, and I don't know what he did, but he got it back up because he's a web god. So that was nice.
The and what happened was when she said she completely erased out her databases, that was the one thing that was still intact was her databases.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So what I was able to do is, even though the website was gone, I just reinstalled WordPress. I went into PHP my admin. I pulled everything out of the original database because all the structure files were there. But had I not done this before, from not backing up my own sites and losing elite coaching and results marketing and some other things from when I got hacked, I wouldn't have known how to recover her website. So the important lesson here is she was told many times, back up.
Yeah.
You cannot back up too many times.
Nope.
Back up everything. And again, I want to emphasize to you guys, as you're going down this path, you cannot make too many backups because you can always go back to your backup if you screw up. And so just the importance of backing up was, it still took her an hour, even though I was able to recover 95% of everything. It probably still took her another hour to go ahead and restructure the little things that were out of place, because it doesn't ever come back 100%.
No.
So I wanted to make sure that we emphasize backups are important. And other than that, I think Miranda is doing a fantastic job.
Well, thank you.
All right, let's go on to phase 2. I'm excited.
Okay, then now I'm going to show you the websites just so you can kind of get an example of what you're going to be working with when it comes to building the template website, so you can just see how it looks. Yes, he is a miracle worker, Carol. Backing up your computer is very nice as well. Yes, that too. That's what I need to get an external hard drive for my laptop too, because I'm going to be heading out here to California in a couple weeks, or in a couple days. And hopefully, knock on wood, nothing happens to my laptop because nothing is backed up onto an external hard drive. So yes, backing up your computer is very important too. Jack, you're in California? Cool. Well, maybe I'll see you there. I live in Long Beach, so but let's get to the template website. So I'm going to show you, this is the first one I made. This is an AC site. I did this for Carrie. Now, this one, my uncle put these other banners in, but the first one, this is the one I did. Just very generic, just a fixer handy guy with a blue background, so it incorporates, air and coolness, and then just, a cartoon little AC. Now I got these pictures off of Graphic Stock, and you just put very generic, so the banner done right and done now. You don't see anyone's company name on here, but you can obviously tell that it is an AC site. So, we added a video in here. I made these little these little coupons or advertisements here on the side. But it's just super like, oh well, usually I use Lorem Ipsum with these with the paragraphs.
The reason that's all like that is because that's actually my live site that you're on. That's
Oh,
not
is
the
it?
generic one. Yeah.
Oh.
That's my Kansas
Oh.
City Heating and Cooling. That's okay.
Oh.
It's a live site.
Yeah. But this is a little bit souped up of a template. We'll just say that. This is
It's a template on steroids.
yeah, it's a template on steroids. Mine usually consists of Lorem Ipsum everywhere, within every single paragraph and everything that you see, titles, whatever, what have you. Everything is Lorem Ipsum. Nothing is titled to a specific company or specific anything. The About Us, I believe, I don't think you changed the other ones, did you? Oh no, see this graphic I got from Graphic Stock. Once again, nothing is titled. Oh, here we go. The Lorem Ipsum again. Nothing is titled to anyone in specifically. But like I said, this is quite the template website on steroids. There's a lot to this. Mine are usually a little bit more simpler than this, but still look really nice. Oh, we don't have. I wish I could show you the AC or the chiropractic site. That one was pretty cool.
It's
Not this one. The other one that I made.
That's Dr. Tomlinson.
Yeah, this is Tomlinson site.
Desktop server. It's GoToWebinar crashed desktop server because it's working on the same port. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Jack asked you a question.
Okay.
But yeah, this is just a standard. We have the blog page. Oh wow, you added a lot to this. I haven't looked at this since I started it, but yeah, we have service page, contact us page. Now, Divi, the nice thing about Divi is Divi comes with pre-installed layouts, which is so convenient. You do have to go back into the pre-installed layouts and move it around a little bit and tweak it and make it specific to what you're working with as far as the template goes, because some of the Divi layouts are titled to them. They have everything on their pages have to do with Divi and have to do with building the website and subscribing to their company and elegant themes and all that good stuff. So you're going to have to go in there and tweak it a little bit. But as far as the layout goes for the template, it's all done for you, and it's so nice. So you don't have to build the page from scratch. You have something to work with. And then we have this, let's see, this service info. This one, I do believe, this is the one that I made, except he changed this one out as well. But, darn, I wish the desktop server was working, because then I could show you my websites. But, oh, you know what? I have screenshots of some of them. Oh, I gotta find it. Hold on. Bear with me for just a second here. If you want to add something, Uncle Wes, you can for the time being, so I could find these pictures real quick.
Jack was asking about the video on the front page of the air conditioning site, and also, by the way, if you drop down, if you go to heatingandcoolingkansascity.net and you drop down on the home menu, you're going to see a couple other selections for the home menu. You're going to see home wide. That's the difference between the two. And when I show you what happened last night, I'm going to show you, you'll see the narrow banner. Some people like the narrow banner, some people like the wide banner. And depending on what device you're looking at, they react a little bit differently. But the more I use this Divi theme, the more impressed I am. And then last night was the cincher deal. I'll kind of tease a little bit of the story. I received a text message that had a question from Phil, who owns Sun City, and I hadn't talked to him in months. And so anyways, he texted over a question about HTML and wanted to know whether or not I knew CS6, Dreamweaver CS6. And there was a question he was asking about responsiveness. And so I answered his question. And then, in fact, I didn't want to go there yet, but there's a story behind this right here for Sun City. And anyways, so we're going to talk about that, and I will show you what happened. And that's what tomorrow night's workshop is going to be based on. That I hope you guys will come to, but if not, you'll get a copy of the recording. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Okay, so I found the pictures. Now this is, once again, just for the template websites. I'll show you. Here is the chiropractic one. Now this is not souped up as he went back in and souped up that AC site quite a bit, but this is just a generic. We have the generic logo for them, just Chiro site, and obviously the standard medical cross. We have get pain relief fast with just a generic phone number up there. We have the 5 main pages. Now when it comes to their practice, depending on what they're doing, since this is a chiropractic which falls into the medical category, I did schedule an appointment. Instead of putting contact us on there, I did schedule an appointment just to make it look a little bit more of a medical site, if that makes sense. So like say if they're just a retail store or if there's something like that, you can do contact us. But if it falls into the appropriate category of medical services or something that has to do with an appointment or a meeting or something like that, you can also add that in there instead of adding a contact us. Here we go again with the Lorem Ipsum. Like I said, this is just generic. You don't even have to put an author name for the quotes. This is just laying out the site. Then we have a sidebar option, which is pretty nice. You can customize that. Need an appointment, Lorem Ipsum, click to call. Super basic, super generic, not hard to do at all. Now let's go to a different one. This is the AC site before he souped it up. This is before I handed it over to him. I had one banner, had the air conditioning services with a little wrench, all specials here, basic 5-page layout, Lorem Ipsum everywhere. Same as the other site. And you can also, which is pretty cool about Divi, you can also customize the footer theme. So instead of having it designed by I believe it's designed by yeah, that's right. Powered by WordPress, designed by Elegant Themes. You can add your own name in there. So and you can have that link back to your website or whatever you want it to link back to, so it follows back to you. And then this is the transmission site. This is the last one that I've been working on. Super generic, once again. So this background is what's cool about Divi is this is not put onto this background right here. This is actually a slide-in image. So this transmission comes in and slides in from the side, and the transmission services, the actual wording slides up, which is pretty cool. This is just a generic background I got from
WebTreats.
Yeah, the WebTreats site.
My way.
Yep, webtreats.mysitemy.way, and that's where I got that from. And you can see a trend though, what you're starting to look at. I do like this homepage, the pre-laid out homepage. As you can see, I use it on almost every one of my template sites because I think it looks good. Because you have basically what you're doing, and you have your testimonials from your customer, and you also have a contact or a call to action right here. Then you have your sidebar, and then obviously your basic 5 main pages that you're going to want to present to them. So that is the template websites. If you guys have any questions, I can take those right now for the template websites. Those are just some examples that I wanted to show you, so it's just so you can get a feel for how it should look when you present it to your clients or what you're going to be making. Nope, no one's asking anything, so if you want to...
Sometimes it's a delayed reaction. Does anybody have any questions for Miranda before I get started?
Why? Rhonda asks, why don't you make an opt-in box so that you can start building a list? What is that?
It's a whole nother class. Rhonda, we haven't got that far yet. We're working. We've come miles and miles and miles down the road, but we still have a journey to travel. She's got MailChimp set up. We're working on that. I've been trying to encourage her to study Optimized Press 2.0 and also Lead Pages, since she has access to those tools to be able to use them.
Yeah.
And there's only 20. We discovered there's only 24 hours in the day. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just getting onto the whole. I'm gonna start making my membership website here pretty soon, and I'm just learning how to navigate MailChimp and Lead Pages and all that good stuff. I'm fairly okay with it. I just haven't learned everything when it comes to all that. But I will be doing that pretty soon, and I'll let you guys know about that. I'm on your elite coaching group in Skype, so I will let you guys know. What else did we have?
All right, a couple of little things that were coming in are George wanted to know on the pre-made page layouts. George, I'm going to cover that, so stay tuned and hang tight, and we're going to get to that here in just a second.
Thank you, Quinn. You've got the
Mike,
gift.
Make sure you give her lots of compliments because I'm going to add it to her bill. Mike says,
thanks.
You should be proud of yourself. Great accomplishment. We're just going to add that to the bill.
Thank you.
Everybody's saying that is just excellent. Yeah, she did a fantastic job. And what's even more inspiring is you guys are on the other side of the screen, and so even though through me you've met her, I mean, tonight was the first time I saw it too. There was no coaching, no guidance on any of it. She's just been listening to me, and she's got the knack. That's all I can say. She's got the knack.
Runs in the family.
When she gets stuck, I just kind of point her in the right direction, and I head back upstairs and go lock myself in my room.
Well, thank you, everyone. I do appreciate your time and listening to me ramble on for quite a bit. I do appreciate all your guys' feedback and all that good stuff. So if you have any questions, I will be on Skype. And if you want to talk to me personally, you can go to my website. My phone number's on there. Email me, contact me if you have any more questions or anything. But thank you all again. I'm going to hand it over to my uncle. And you guys have a really good night. Thank you.